Alright, so we're on the main deck, and we're going to take the stairs going up now and see what's up on the F deck. So these are the stairs. This leads to food. This leads to sleeping quarters. And if we go up these stairs, and remember we'll come back here later, up and up, and here is the Expedition 323 Bering Sea Pet Wall of Fame. You can see pictures of a lot of the pets of the folks on board, and now advertising for our Expedition logo. And now we're on the poop deck. Let's check it out. Alright, we're going to skip this way for now. This is the chem lab, and we've got lots of equipment set up in the chem lab. Everything including scales designed with heavy weights to keep them balanced while we're moving around on the ocean. Very difficult to get a lot of accuracy out of a scale, but they can do it to high precision. Notice how it's moving? That's because gravity is changing as we rock around here. Moving on around further. Okay, we got fume hoods, lots more equipment, excuse me, and folks working in the chem lab. Keep going on, more fume hoods. And chemists. And we keep going down this way and we get into microbiology. And microbiology leads to the cold lab. I'm not going to open the door in here because it's cold, as the name implies. But you can see this room is kept nice and cold all the time so that micro samples can be worked with in the right environment. And then there's some storage back here in the far end. Alright, heading back out of the chem lab. Safety equipment, safety showers, eye wash. And leading from here, we can get to the conference room. The conference room is set up with 2 mounted LCD projectors, which is great. We can do video conferencing from the cameras in here. Unfortunately, if you do video conferencing from in this room and the camera is not shaking because it's on a tripod, it looks like you could be in an office building anywhere. It doesn't look like you're on a ship. So, not the best view. If you can see here, there are some portholes in this room. So even here you can see the ocean. And we'll take a quick, nice camera monitor of the drill floor. These are located throughout the ship so that you can check and see what's going on. Looks like nothing is happening at the moment. We're going to continue on this way and head over here. There's a couple of restrooms. This is where the elevator lets out on the F deck. This way is where Bill Crawford's office is. He is in the imaging office, and he is hard at work. We're not going to bother him, but he does all the photo and video, official photo and video on the ship. Everybody takes pictures. Here's the clinic. Looks like the clinic is closed. In here we have where my office is located. I am sharing space with Jerry Bodie. Hey, Jerry Bodie.
Hi there.
And nice book cabinets. And this is my view out of my window. You can see up here is the catwalk where core is processed. Over there is where the drilling takes place. And lots of drill pipe stored out my window. Not the best view, but it is a window, so I'm not going to complain. And if you come over this way, in her natural environment, we can see Jamie Schmidt, the yo person.
Doug, you need to warn me when you do this.
No, see, this is impromptu.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to my environment.
This is a pretty cool view, except for there's now life rafts welded onto the side of the ship, blocking most of her view, but she's got some good view of ocean.
And a farm.
And a farm. She's growing organic life forms. Cool. This is where you go to check out movies. There's a nice movie list and a cabinet full of DVDs.
Goodbye, come again.
Bye, see you later. Again, another monitor. This one is actually showing our position. This right here is where we were last, and this is where we are currently. The circles just indicate drilling spots. And here is pictures of everybody that's on this expedition, except for like 2 people who were not there when they took pictures, and for some reason they haven't tracked them down. They're hiding, I think. All right. Oh, actually, there's a couple more spots that we can look at. Now that the vacuuming has stopped, we're going to go back past chemistry. And real quick, this room is where we do X-ray diffraction. And when I say we, I mean this guy, Eric. Hey, Eric. And here's the machine. Notice the little red lights up at the top. Those indicate that we're being exposed to high levels of radiation. And in here is where the samples are heated up. I've got some pictures that'll be posted of that later. And there's the countdown of how long we've been at sea. Yet another one of those really awesome balances hooked up with a huge weight under it to keep it set up. A couple of smaller balances. And then one last spot further down this hallway past the chem lab and XRD room. We have 2 freezers for storage. Samples that need to be kept cold are kept in there. And then we have the thin section lab. Kuro's not in here. He's the one that does the thin sections, but there's a lot of equipment in here. This is a vacuum that pulls water out of samples, or moisture out of samples. And over here, moving around this side, this guy is the grinder and cutter for thin sections. There's a diamond plate drill in there that cuts the samples down. They're held onto this piece with vacuum. The suction of the air being pulled out holds the glass on, and then those pieces are lowered into the cutting wheel, and that's how he makes thin sections. And that is all we have for this deck of the ship, so hopefully you're enjoying the tour so far. We'll pick it up later. Bye.